Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Monday, June 23, 2025. Home ownership is on the horizon for more than 2,000 persons as the National Housing Trust, NHT, gets ready to begin construction on the Longville Meadows housing scheme in Clarendon. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness was on hand for the groundbreaking ceremony on Friday. Gore Development Limited will be building the 2,077 units under the NHT's Guaranteed Purchase Program. Prime Minister Holness says he welcomes the partnership in the interest of constructing affordable units for the housing market.
Oftentimes, the ability of the government to execute its policy is really dependent on the quality of the contractor, the capability of the contractor. And Gore Development has a proven track record. They have been building houses privately for themselves and the private housing market for decades. They have a brand in the market, people know them, and most importantly now, they have a reputation to defend.
Chair of the NHT, Linville Freeman, says this is the fourth groundbreaking for the agency since the start of the year, with housing solutions totaling over 5,500 for the same period.
And based on the pipeline, we are working towards crossing the threshold of 8,000 units by the end of this year. And we are hoping to also build another 5,000 between now and the end of March 2026.
Longville Meadows will include a mix of 1- and 2-bedroom standalone units and serviced lots on lands owned by both the government and Gore Development. Phase 1 is already approved by all relevant authorities and full approval for Phase 2 is expected within 9 months. $2.7 billion is being spent to regularize basic amenities for the communities of Industry Penn and Tree Hills in St. Mary. Residents were updated by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness during a working tour of the parish last week. He says the scope of work will address long-standing issues such as water, electricity, roads and land settlement.
And of course, we're going to subdivide another 60 acres of land which will be made available at the proper terms.
A steel water storage tank with a capacity of over 400,000 gallons is being manufactured overseas and installation is projected by December. Meanwhile, upgrades to water transmission pipelines and the relift pump station at River Road are already in progress and now at 61%. Member of Parliament for St. Mary Western Robert Montague says some areas have received electricity with the farmland section remaining to be connected. The work is being carried out by the National Housing Trust and the National Water Commission.
They have gone to tender on the sewage and they have done some temporary construction on some of the road to give alleviation. But they, in a community meeting, they informed that they will not be able to treat with the road until they have put in the pipes and put in the sewage pipes and the water pipe.
The first shipment of buses for the state-run rural school bus system has arrived on the island. The shipment of 25 buses arrived Saturday night. Additional shipments are expected between now and August for both the rural school bus system and the regular Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC operations. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says St. Anne will receive the largest allocation under the program, 10 buses to serve 29 schools. He says within 3 weeks, Jamaicans will be able to see the buses when they are being tested.
We take off 63 JUTC bus off of the wharf and 25 school bus, the first 25. Within the next 3 weeks, you are going to see those buses, those 100 buses, school bus, through every nook and cranny, all the 100 routes that they will be traveling. We are going to test them on it so people can see them, feel them, touch them.
Minister Vaz says consultations will be held with school officials and other key stakeholders to finalize the specific routes. In its first phase, the rural school bus system will deploy 100 buses across all 14 parishes, serving 258 schools out of the targeted 850. Students will pay a flat fare of $50 per trip. The government has now completed the installation of upgraded LED floodlights at Savannah Park, a $75 million investment aimed at revolutionizing night cricket and boosting the stadium's status as a top-tier sporting venue. Sport Minister Olivia Grange says this is an indication that the government is serious about development.
This great facility will return to its, I would say, former glory, because this was a facility in the Caribbean that was seen as the place to be, to come to cricket and to experience great cricket matches.
She also revealed the extent of the government's effort to procure and install a new scoreboard.
After having discussions with the Jamaica Cricket Association, we approached the government of India. And following on that approach, Prime Minister Andrew Holness visited India, and again further discussions were held with the Prime Minister there. And so finally it's materialized. We're getting new scoreboards.
In addition to the upgrades at Sabina Park, the ministry is also pumping $100 million into the development of cricket in schools and at the grassroots level over the next 3 years. A Memorandum of Understanding MOU has been signed on to conduct the 4th Jamaica Health and Lifestyle Survey. The agreement was inked by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the University of the West Indies, and other partners. It provides for the survey to be carried out over a period of 15 months at a cost of $139 million. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says it will focus mainly on non-communicable diseases, which are the leading cause of illness and death in the country. The survey is also expected to zero in on additional areas of focus captured under the establishment of centers of excellence.
So the 4 key risks, we would like to look at epidemiological profiling and surveillance, primary prevention and health promotion, integrated and people-centered care models, and policy governance and multi-sectorial action as part of how do we use the information that is gathered in our health and lifestyle survey to have a concentrated focus on those that are the key causes of significant illness and, of course, unfortunately, of deaths in the country.
The Caribbean Institute of Health Research is playing a leading role in this health and lifestyle survey, which is due to be completed in the 3rd quarter of 2026. Training has commenced for the first cohort of executive sous chefs enrolled at Jamaica's Gastronomy Academy. The news comes ahead of this week's expected launch of the academy.
We are training already the first cohort of executive sous chefs. 6 hotels are participating in the program and 20 executive sous chef students are now in training for certification.
The tourism minister made the disclosure during the inaugural Jamaica Forum on Gastronomy Tourism held last week at the AC Hotel by Marriott in Kingston. The event coincided with the United Nations observance of World Sustainable Gastronomy Day and was held under the theme Strengthening Linkages Through Culinary Innovation. And finally, the Ministry of Education is today launching a series of teacher training workshops as part of efforts to boost literacy among primary school students. The workshops will be held from June 23 to July 1 in preparation for timetabled reading, which will be reintroduced for grades 1 to 3 students in September 2025. Senior Education Officer in the Curriculum Unit of the Ministry, Dr. Novlet McLean-Francis, shares that the aim is to support and retool teachers.
In this intervention, we hope to make this reading framework explicit with its attendant approaches and strategies that will be promoted via our early reading training. The teachers need to be equipped, and we have been doing work. The special education unit has been working with our schools, but we want to help them to plan some of these interventions and also to use data to assist them even as they plan these interventions.
Dr. McLean-Francis was addressing last week's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. The training is being led by the ministry's core curriculum unit in partnership with teacher training colleges, the Special Education Unit, Jamaica Library Service, National Literacy Team, and Media Services Unit. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.